So, we're going to talk about the functionality of capsule shaped bowls. And that's not really, you do see them very rarely, slightly occasionally, every once in a blue moon. You find a Clover shaped backyard pool. Or the one I skated was an apartment pool, Clover shaped, insane. But what we're talking about here today is if you're going to make a pool for skateboarding, backyard bowl, skate park bowl, I always thought the Clover shape tri-bowl, where each bowl is a different shape, I always thought that's the most functional shape and the funnest to ride because it allows you to go front side and back side in both directions equally with you can charge as hard as you want in both directions, which is something that a lot of shapes don't always allow. But after skating what was that, the one in Huntington, the basic bowl, man, I had so much fun riding that before it popped out of the ground. That was like the sickest bowl ever. And I got a chance to ride a smaller version of that up in British Columbia, Canada, on a road trip in the late 90s. And that was also pretty freaking rad. So I've rode the full-size basic bowl, and I've rode like the little mini ramp version. And no matter what the size, I think the Clover is the most functional because you can just skate one bowl, like just skate the shallow section or the mid section or just the deep end and just half pipe the deep end. Or you could carve around and ride it like a kidney. It could be a left-hand kidney or a right-hand kidney, depending on how you go about it. And you get the bonus of 3 hips, which is pretty rad. And if you have a roll-in, then you have something to do like street tricks on, similar to the one at the basic bowl, where I think Omar started the trend of jumping off the roof into the roll-in. But if that roll-in didn't exist, nobody would have been jumping into the bowl at all. But it just lined up perfectly, the way the corner of that roof line like almost lined up perfectly with the roll-in. It's almost like if that was the design concept, they could have like maybe shifted the bowl slightly to the left and brought that thing a little closer. But man, it has a huge roll-in deck, like a party roll-in deck in the takeoff zone. And if you've ever been there. But for this case, I'm watching this backyard pool will blow your mind, the Christopher Height video of a bowl up in Sacramento. Huge Clover build. Clover bowl, backyard build, private skate park. Man, this is like one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. This person probably skated the basic bowl and was like, man, I need one of these. So, I don't blame him. It's a functional shape, gives you the best of both worlds, and really allows you to have as much fun as possible and accommodate like goofy and regular footers. And in the case of this particular one in the YouTube video, the Christopher Height one, that has looks to be about a foot of tile. Man, if you ever skated something like that, those tiles might bark louder than the grinds. So it's a big confidence builder, and it just aesthetically looks beautiful. That's a pretty rad build. And man, I gotta tell you, most functional shape, most fun you can have in a backyard bowl. Kidneys are rad, but if you look at the overview of a Clover, it's basically 2 kidneys overlapped with the deep end. Or you can even go shallow to mid or shallow to shallow. You still got a kidney. Either way, it's like just really good for speed lines, front side and back side, the versatility of not getting stuck in one line, and the ability to really have as much fun as possible, really stretching out your lines and giving you some breathing room when you're trying new stuff. So it's like, man, you really can't go wrong. Like, I would build one of these. Like, now it makes me feel like that's what I want to build. You know, I've got this section in my yard that's pretty much devoted to skateboarding, and I always thought this would be a good idea. You know, I mean, it's kind of like a take on it's a modified amoeba, basically. It's like an amoeba with an exaggerated third pocket would be a Clover. So, I mean, if you want to look at this in terms of surfing, that would be like a really jumbled peak that's just crossed up from both directions, creating like a triple bowl combo. Man, that'd be a heck of a wave to surf. You got the big bowl in the middle. When that thing throws, you get barreled on that. Then you hop over the hip into the next bowl. Then you smash the lip on that, and then cruise around and maybe redirect, and then hit the third bowl backside. Smash the hip and just, wow, man, the idea of that is just insane. Like, I've ridden surf spots like that, like the hole in Sunset Beach, the Southern California version, the OCHB version has a setup like that on the right swell where it's just looks like a skate park out there. There's just waves coming from all different directions. And yeah, man, that's probably the closest wave spot to this bowl that I'm looking at right now. And, you know, it's another fun spot. You know, it's almost too much fun for most people to deal with, that they don't even know what to do with it. You know, like, man, just jump in and enjoy it and see what happens. So, man, highly recommended. If you ever get the chance to ride a Clover, it will change your life. It will open your mind, and it will open doors of possibility on your skateboard and your skating ability that you probably didn't even know exist. And most skaters like just don't ever get the chance to enjoy something like this, and really forces them to skate their best. So, highly recommended, man. The Clovers are the best shape for backyard bowl if you're going to build one, a skate park bowl. And, you know, we just don't have enough of them. I'd really love to see more of these out there. Like, more Clover bowls need to get built overall. Or amoebas. Just exaggerate that bowl out a little bit and see what you get. It's always a good time, maximum fun, and really like brings out the diversification of your skateboarding ability and really makes that your trucks and your board and wheels, everything function at their optimum. And a lot of guys, like when you're just street skating and riding like jacked up ground and gravelly like asphalt and street spots, like you're not really getting the most out of your skateboard design or your truck turning capabilities, or the whole reason why concave is invented. So when you ride stuff like this, you realize why everything is designed the way it is, because it's for turning and going fast and doing like laying into thick grinds and big transitions and big bowls. And a lot of that will translate down to slappies at the street level, but this is why your concave is the way it is, and why your board's designed the way it is, and why trucks turn the way they do, and why their bushings come in different hardnesses, and why Indy started making better bushings that come with their trucks right off the bat. You know, so learn to turn and get in those Clover bowls. Highly recommended. Outside of that, have a great day. Enjoy those carves, front side and back side, and extending your lines for, 30 seconds, a minute. Get those legs burning. Build up those thigh muscles. That's what's up, man. There's more to life than street skating and slappies.